What's good, YouTube? It's Internet JB back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a profitable dropshipping business in 2025. This is going to be a full-length dropshipping course for completely free. I'm not going to charge y'all anything. This is the exact same process I used to literally get to 6 figures in less than a year while still being in high school. If you don't know me already, it's not going to be a basic dropshipping video where you just hear the same advice, just a different guru. My first video was literally me door dashing and trying to make it with dropshipping, and now I'm at the point where I can literally teach people how to dropship and I can make courses and actually help people. With that being said, I'm going to show you how to find winning products, set up your store, and create actual high converting ads and scale to 10K months so you can literally have that true freedom through ecom. This video will literally show you an exact step-by-step process on how to do dropshipping, so you shouldn't have to watch another video like this again, unless it's mine, of course. And like I said, just a couple months ago, I was literally DoorDash Taco Bell, McDonald's just to pay for my ads, and now I'm able to make money like this, so why not teach it? But with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, so phase 1, mindset and preparation. To be honest with you, is one of the most important parts when it comes to dropshipping, and it's the most overlooked part, and realistically it's the reason why most people fail. A lot of people try to say dropshipping is dead, but all it did was change. Basically, back in the day, you were able to just throw up a shitty store on TikTok and it would just make money. Nowadays, you actually have to try and actually have real systems back behind your product to actually make money. You know what I mean? Here's what you need to understand. Most dropshippers never get that first sale, never find that first winning product, and most of them quit because they're not willing to actually put in the real work. And to be honest, that's really not some of y'all fault, because y'all get tricked into buying these shitty courses and then y'all end up just getting bad knowledge and then it actually doesn't work. And then that leads you to believe that dropshipping as a whole is terrible, and then you end up quitting. So let's fix that. Now, going to the model board that I literally just built, you have to ask yourself, do you truly want it? And I know it sounds cliche, and I know it sounds like, okay, bro, it's just yapping, but I promise you, bro, you have to ask yourself, do you truly want it? Because there's a lot of other things in life that you might want, or you might want to go after, and you have to make sure if you're going to stick to this, you're going to commit yourself to this, and you're going to be 100%. These are just a couple of examples of things I had to give up. Literally, my girlfriend at the time, video games, high school sports, I used to play football, going to parties, hangouts, etc. Like, bro, you really do got to lock in, and y'all got to, like, just stay in your room and just grind. Like, get a laptop and then kind of just get as much knowledge as you can. Like, videos like this are going to help you out because I didn't have this. So you just got to really just log in. A lot of people ask, like, how do I change my brain? Like, you need to change your brain at the end of the day. So what do you have to do? Cut all distractions, girls, video games, sleeping in, doom scrolling. I even fall victim to that sometimes. Like, everybody does. But you have to know your distractions. You have to know, like, okay, I'm doing this wrong. How can I improve it? Because a lot of people will just ignore that they're doing it wrong instead of trying to actually fix it. But at the end of the day, bro, deep down, you know what's holding you back. Everybody has their own chains that restrict them. But at the end of the day, you know what yours are. You just aren't able to really just break free of them. And I had to go through the same shit, and I still have chains to this day, but I have less chains because consistent growth and the consistent, I'm gonna stop this, I'm gonna stop this, I need to lock in on this, and prioritizing it. You have to be able to do that, or you're not going to be able to succeed. And that's coming from somebody in high school. At the end of the day, bro, just like how you study in high school, how you study in school, I don't know if you're in school, but it all ties into becoming a student of the game and becoming somebody who genuinely wants to do this, and they want to commit themselves and give 100% every single day. And like I said, be the guy who embraces the ugly and the hard work. Don't be afraid of hurting/failing. Like, just because you have one losing store, if I told you right now that in 10 stores you'd be able to literally make $10,000, you'd probably be trying to rush to your 10 stores as quick as possible, right? So it really just ties into just having that mindset. It's kind of like that killer sports mindset. Like, you have to know, like, okay, I'm going to do this and nothing's gonna stop me. I don't care if I see other people succeeding. I don't care if I fail, if I trip, I'm going to make it to my goal. Right? And even me, I saw people that started after me and started making money before me. So I literally was just in the game trying to find my way, and I saw people coming in after me when they were already partying and all that, and then they were able to make money, and it was a little bit discouraging. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to get to the storm and be able to say, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna focus on anybody else's journey. I'm not gonna focus on if they're making money. I need to focus on me. It's literally you versus you. Like, it sounds cliche, but it's you versus you. Like, it's your store, it's your ads, you know what I'm saying? It's you, it's your laptop, you're the one doing it. And if other people can do it, you can do it too. And I made a little diagram to kind of break down everything that has to do with the game of dropshipping. And now, as y'all can see, I kind of broke it down in ranks. I don't know if y'all watch anime, but basically it's this new anime, Solo Leveling. And I'm kind of breaking it down rank by rank, and I feel like this is the easiest way to break it down to a beginner. So obviously at the worst rank, we have D rank, and people like this are the worst type of people because they always talk about dropshipping. They're always talking about, oh, I'm gonna start, that they never do. And they always want to talk about how much knowledge they have, but they never actually use it, or they just don't know how to use it. Moral of the story, don't be a D rank. It's the bottom of the tier for a reason, and we're gonna just keep it down there, you know what I mean? Going into C rank criteria, we have giving it a try, which is basically people just trying out dropshipping, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like I said, if you're not 100% committed, you might as well just not do it at all, because you're just gonna lose money. And then we have terrible habits, which is basically the same shit we just talked about, just having terrible habits, the same habits of their fun life, kind of just partying, doing all that fun stuff. And like I said, you can do fun stuff while doing dropshipping, but you have to minimize it and know how to prioritize. That's the most important aspect. And then obviously the people in the C rank have the biggest dreams, because they're getting new to it and they see the top of the iceberg and they're like, okay, cool, I want to get to that point. So most likely C rank people have the biggest dreams. And then usually C rank has low knowledge / low money, because they're just trying to start dropshipping because they want to make money and they have no knowledge on dropshipping. And as you can see, C rank has tested 1 to 15 products. So this is basically meaning they've actually ran a store on 1 to 15 products, and they have low knowledge, low money. And this is not saying they're running it correctly, just saying how many products usually a C rank is. Moving on to B rank, maybe had a little success but don't know how they did it. This is where majority of dropshippers are, if not at C rank. Basically they had a good winning store, but they don't really know why it won and don't really know how. It was kind of just luck based, really. Still figuring out dropshipping / business. Tested around 20 to 40 products, which is the biggest factor between C rank and B rank, because as you can see, C rank tested 1 to 15 and people might have quit at 7 products, 8 products, whatever. But as you can see, B rank actually persevered and pushed through and kept testing products, because they're like, oh, I'm going to make this work. So they tested 20 to 40 products and they're still trying to figure out dropshipping, but at least they had a little bit of success. Realistically, you can test 20 to 40 products and you might not have no success depending on your journey. Everybody's journey is different. That's the one thing I need to push with dropshipping, because I didn't understand that when I was coming up. Because like I said, I was seeing people succeed and I was like, bro, how are they succeeding and not me? So with B rank, above average habits, realistically, this is just better habits than terrible. So they're a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more inclined to actually work, and are kind of getting used to that work schedule. And they have around mid-rate knowledge to mid to high money, depending on their little success. And realistically, this little success could be a high success depending on everybody's journey. Now we're moving on to A rank, where I personally have myself. I really have myself between, like, I got myself at like low A rank, to be honest with you. And realistically, A rank says know the game at an advanced level, knowing why they won. They're not really worrying about other people's strategy as much, because a lot of beginners, they like to dance around different strategies and think the strategy is going to help them win. And knowing a game at an advanced level is just knowing how the game goes. The longer you're in it, you're just gonna know. And just having an above average analyzation skills. So that can be meaning when stuff goes wrong, they know what went wrong and they're able to actually correct that. And knowing more about the stores, more and more about media buying, which is basically just ads, knowing about making creatives. So they have better analyzation skills because they have more experience, you know what I mean? Multiple ups and downs, so they might have went through chargebacks, they might have went through holds, ad account bans, stuff like that, and they usually have a high knowledge with high money. Now we get to the best tier, which is S rank, and I'm not even here yet, so I'm just telling y'all about it. These the cold people. These like the top tier, and where I'm trying to go. That's why I'm doing the brand challenge. But these are the people with top 1% habits, building huge brands, multi-millions. Yes, I said multi, and knowing all the ins and outs of dropshipping. So this could be meaning having Facebook insiders. They have friends, just the network, everything. And ultimately, bro, I'm gonna be real, ultimately, the people at S rank control the game. And a lot of people will debate me on this, but at the end of the day, the people at S rank are the people that are making the top moves, and the people that have the most capital to make the moves. So these are the people that control dropshipping as a whole and why dropshipping changes. So beware. I'm not gonna lie, these are the people that you want to be. These are the people you want to strive for, and not a lot of people get here, and that's why it's the top 1%, and that's why it's S rank. And everybody wants to be S rank, but not everybody's gonna put in S rank level effort. You know what I mean? So most dropshippers, like if we're talking about top dropshippers, probably YouTubers, if we're being real, they settle between A and B rank. And then realistically, most people that start dropshipping, like we're talking about from the start to finish, most people end at C rank. But with this course, you should be able to get way past B rank and C rank, and realistically S rank if you really put in the work. Moving on, let's go to phase 2, talking about product research, the foundation of success. So as you can see on my screen here, we have the product research criteria. And basically what this is all the criteria I use to find my winning products, and what I use to kind of filter out loser products and find the winners. So right now we have solve a problem, huge TAM, high search volume, and less than 4 competitors. So I'm gonna break down and give an example for every single criteria so we can understand it better. So starting with solving a problem, as you can see, product A, we have a hoodie with a name on it, has no unique value unless attached to a brand like Nike. And product B, we have a back massager that matches with a pain people have all the time, which is obviously back pain. So let's really think about it. If we had a product A, all it does is a hoodie, and we really can't do much with it. Yeah, we can attach to a brand like Nike, but most of y'all don't have a brand like Nike. Or we can sell a product that is a back massager, which literally matches with a pain every single time. People have back pain every single day. People are gonna get back pain tomorrow, and people are gonna get back pain next week. So which product would be better to sell if we can match it with a pain other than matching it with something that might be trendy or something that might just look good? You probably pick the back massager, right? You probably pick it just because it solves a problem. The number one thing with dropshipping that you have to understand is that you want to find a problem and be the solution. Moving on to the next criteria, we have having a huge TAM. So as you can see in this example right here, TAM is essentially total addressable market. Basically, as you can see, I have this example right here, video games niche. So this is basically a giant bubble of every single person that plays video games and is basically a customer in video games. So let's say we just sold something for console and we sold something for like the little joysticks. So let's say we sold like it's like something that helps with like aim, like you help move the joystick or whatever. So let's say we sold something like that. All we would be able to do is target people only in the console. So basically PlayStation and Xbox. But like I said, that might be a huge TAM. But what if we thought a little bit broader and we sold something that could literally target this entire video game niche? So let's think about it. What if we sold blue light glasses that literally, you know what I'm saying, help your eyes when you're playing video games, and we can target basically this entire market. And basically the more people in the market, we'll touch on it a little bit later, but the more people in the market are the more buyers, which basically means more sales. So if we're able to target console, VR, and computer, that's just more people that we can target our ads with, and we'd be able to have a huge TAM, which is basically a bigger market to target. So just think about it. Maybe if you went down the street and you went to your local grocery store, it probably wouldn't be as big as a Walmart. So think about Walmart as a really, really big market, and your local grocery store is just a small market. Obviously Walmart's probably going to get more sales, right? So kind of think about it a little bit like that, but we'll touch on it a little bit more when we get into the next criteria. Moving on to the next criteria, we have high search volume. Now I have an example for this criteria, but before I show you, I want to tell you what it means first. Basically what high search term volume means is how many people are looking it up monthly, yearly, whatever. And this is going to tell us the buying intent of the customers and what they feel. And it might seem like a small factor at first, but I promise you, if you lock this in, you'll never miss on a product again. So leading into the example, high search volume means people are actually looking up, meaning they're interested in the product. So that means there are more people to buy the product. The more people that see the product, the more people there is to buy the product, leading to more money in the market, like we were talking about with TAM, more room to grow / scale, because like I said, you're not going to be the only person in that market. So basically not the only person in your total addressable market, but if there's more room to grow / scale, there might be enough room for everybody. Basically meaning your bank account goes up. And this is ultimately the way that everybody should be scaling. Everybody should be validating their product, because if it doesn't have high search term volume, it has nothing. That is the foundation of everything. Now moving on to the last criteria, having less than 4 competitors. So as you can see in this example right here, we have the exact same product we were just talking about. And as you can see, we have competitor A, the first person to the product, competitor B, competitor C, and we have your space. So basically all this means is the space that people are selling the viral massager that are actually making money. And obviously there's little bubbles here and there, people that are trying to rip, but these are the main 4 competitors. So without you being here, let's say your competitors are right here and you see 3 people running a product and you're like, okay, this product's dead, I can't really run it because there's already 3 people running it. But nonetheless, there's a space right here that is literally fine for you, because you got to think about it. If your product has a huge TAM, that means it has a lot of people it can sell to. So that means there's more space for you, and also you can hit a different angle. Let's say competitor A is hitting people, nurses with back pain, and competitor B is hitting athletes with back pain. Maybe you can hit people with 9-to-5s with back pain, and maybe you can hit their angle and you can make better creatives with them, and now you're taking their sales. So you always got to think, I like to keep it less than 4 to 3 competitors, to be honest with you. That's the range I like to stay in. But being the first of the product is not a problem either, but I always like to have somebody that validated it. It's very, very important, because it's literally somebody spent money to see if this product works, and it's not like they just took it over completely. They basically just gave it a green light to say this product's a winner and you can go test it. So that's just my take on competitors. It's kind of what I look for when I'm doing product research. And right here I have a couple additional factors I look for when I'm doing product research. Basically high profit margins, which is basically be able to get it for lower, source for lower, and be able to sell it for higher. Easy cross sales. So does this product pair well with other products? So example, the back massager would probably pair well with a neck massager. So that is a very important when you're looking for products. Multiple angles to advertise. Like I said, back massager, you can target athletes, nurses, 9-to-5s. With the hoodie, you really can't target too many people and it doesn't even solve a problem. So that's kind of just an angle. Good content available. Good content is very, very good and a very, very good sign that the product is a winner, because if people are making organic content on a product, that means they like the product and other people like it too. And like I said, we already talked about someone who validated it and how important it is. Moving on to the exact tools I use for product research. First, we have Calidata, basically shows trending products on TikTok Shop. And this is where I'm primarily finding my products because it's the easiest it's ever been. And it kind of shows us revenue data on TikTok Shop, and we can basically just bring those TikTok Shop products to Facebook. And it also gives us winning creatives that we can literally put on our ads. Next, we have the TikTok burner account. Basically, all it is pure product research. It basically, you just train your algorithm to find you winning products. So for example, if I wanted to find products in the beauty niche, I would search up stuff that my customer would look up, and that's kind of how I would find my products. And the more you do it, basically your For You page and your algorithm would be aligned to that niche, and then you get fed basically products in that niche and winner products. Basically, I'm just using these two methods to find my products. Right now, it's been the easiest to find winning products. I don't know why, but it's been the easiest it's ever been. So I definitely recommend trying out both of them. Like I said, TikTok burner is for free and Calidata is like $49 a month. So to be honest with you, you can do either one, but I'd probably recommend both if I'm being real. Then we have keywords everywhere. Basically, where I was talking about search term volume. This is kind of where you're using it and you're using the actual search term, so where we're searching it up. So let's say we were using the viral back massager. Basically, all we would do is search up viral, or we would just search up back massager on Google Trends, and we'd be able to gauge the search term volume from there. Now we have SimilarWeb, and I kind of use this to see my competitors. This kind of ties into when we were talking about how our competitors are scaling. So not only can you use Facebook ad library, as you can see down there, but we're going to use SimilarWeb to see their store visits. And based off their store visits, if you go on the SimilarWeb Chrome extension, you'll be able to see that if it's rising, you'll be like, okay, I know that the more sessions they get, the more money they're spending, they're probably making more money back. That's a really good sign when you see your competitors scaling before you get into it, because like I said, that ties into one of our points. Somebody has to validate the product. But yeah, guys, these are the exact tools I'm using to find my winning products right now. Like I said, if y'all have any more questions, y'all can literally join my free community, link in bio, and I have another free course if y'all want to check that out. Without further ado, let's get to the next phase. We are now in phase 3, talking about store setup the right way. So as you can see in this example right here, we have a couple of key factors when it comes to store building. So number one, we always want to keep a simple design. We never want to have too much, going on in our store, kind of restricting the customer from seeing everything. We want to keep it very simple, very sweet, and make sure we're not disturbing the customer at all when they're on their journey on our store. And going into that, basically, we're always going to be focusing on mobile optimization, because we got to think about it. If we're always on our phone when we're targeting social media, we're only targeting Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok sometimes, right? But realistically, when are we ever going to be on our laptop? So why are we looking for desktop optimization? So we're always looking for the best mobile optimization. Going on to the next key factor, we have use ChatGPT for basic text inspo. So what I mean by this is always using ChatGPT for our text on our store. So that means basically like our header, maybe the little text we have above. And like I said, I have a free personal template in my Discord where you can literally use it, where I give out my entire layout. I don't really care. You can just download it and put it right in your Shopify. But going on to the next key point, we have use ChatGPT for basic text inspo. So if you don't know already, we're going to have a store on Shopify. That's where all dropshipping stores are. And you're going to have a store at a certain point where you just have to edit it. And that's kind of where you're going to sell your product at. So don't worry, I have my personal template, as you can see right here. I let y'all use my free personal template. I offer it for free in my Discord server. So don't worry about that. But basically what I mean by the ChatGPT for basic text, all it basically is we're using ChatGPT as an inspiration, and we're not using it like full. We're not just copy and pasting it like you would in like school or something. Let me ask ChatGPT about this product, tell them about my product, who I think would actually buy the product. And then from there, I'm going to say, write me a headline for my store, write me a body for my store, something like that. And then we're going to take what they say and kind of just revert it and make it sound a little bit more human. So ChatGPT is a really good tool to use when making your store and kind of getting used to Shopify and just dropshipping as a whole. And to be honest with you, I still use it to this day when I'm making my stores, because it's just so much easier and more efficient. Now we're going to go over how to create an irresistible offer your customers can't refuse. So if you can see right here in the example, you can see, what if we were trying to dropship a treadmill? Which one is a good offer? So as you can see, super fast treadmill, buy one, get one free, or super fast treadmill, get it 50% off. let's be real, which one are you picking? You're probably going to pick get it today, 50% off over buy one, get one free. Why? Because most people don't need a treadmill. Most people don't need 2 treadmills is what I mean. So if we were to get buy one, get one free, basically how buy one, get one free works is that they would pay the buy one, basically it would be 2. So basically they're paying double the price of what an actual one would cost. So basically, let's say the treadmill was 20 bucks, they paid 40 bucks for the buy one, get one free, but it's going to seem like they're getting it free, so they're not really going to care. So that's essentially how buy one, get one free works. And how you have to really think about it is buy one, get one free might work with another product, but with this product, it probably wouldn't be best. And why is that? Because all offers are product dependent and avatar dependent. It really does depend on what product you're selling. Like I said, if we're selling a makeup product or we're selling a product that could bundle, maybe we would try a different offer and get it today 50% off wouldn't be the best offer. But at the end of the day, we can't always use the same offer. There's not one offer that's always going to stick and it's always going to work. Now, I can tell you offer maybe like free gifts is always a good incentive to give to your customer. But at the end of the day, most offers are always going to be product dependent. It's always going to be product dependent. I had a lot of people in my free community asking what's the best offer to use. There is no best offer to use. You're always going to have to do customer research. Like I said, it's not hard. What I would do is literally go to ChatGPT and I would look up what my customer avatar is. If you're selling a product, you can go look at your creatives or go look at who you want to target, who you would see buying this product. Go look it up. Okay, ChatGPT, who's my avatar? Okay, what do they do on a daily basis? And then you want to take that and kind of be like, okay, how would they use this product in their day-to-day life or week-to-week life or monthly basis? How would they use this product and how often are they using it? So once you see how often they're using it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, then you can be like, okay, this is how much they would probably buy, right? And once you get that number down, now you can start to build out, okay, should I give them 2? Should I give them 50% off? And like I said, you might not know the best offer right off the bat, but you'll know a good offer to start with because you can always test the first offer, then you can test other offers later down the line. And we'll talk more about that when we get into the ads. But essentially what you're going to do is see how many units they would probably use on a day-to-day, week-to-week, monthly basis. And then from there, we're going to be like, okay, how can I offer this? How would they see themselves using this? Let me get in my customer's mind real quick. How would they see themselves using this? And what would be the best incentive for them? So sometimes that's giving them a free gift and giving them maybe 3 free gifts and then increasing the AOV because we're upping the price so much that they don't realize that the free gifts are maybe a couple cents, but it seems like so much, the value is there. So they're going to be like, okay, I'm okay with paying more. And then from there, we're going to want to start thinking about how we're going to price this product. So usually all I do is go to a website called Dropship Toolkit. It's a very easy website to use. All you do is text how much you're getting it for and how much you're selling it for. So once we figure that out, we're going to want to start to talk about how we're going to price the product. So usually I like to have a 3 to 5x markup on my product. And what that means is however much I'm getting it for, let's say I'm getting it for $5, I want to at least times 3 to times 5 what I'm getting it for so I can have a high healthy margin like we talked about in the product research section. But having a product that has a very, very high value or a perceived value in a sense, basically that makes it a lot more easier for us to raise the prices and kind of make sure we're getting a very, very healthy profit margin. And there's not really no secret behind pricing a product. You kind of just go off of the perceived value. Let's say I'm selling a pencil. I'm probably not going to sell a pencil for $10 just because the perceived value isn't high. Now for an iPhone, for example, or maybe like a chain or a camera, maybe you can see the perceived value is a little bit higher because a phone, you're using it day to day and you see other competitors' prices. And it's not really hard to kind of figure out how you're going to price it. It's very, very easy. It's kind of just going off of the perceived value and your competitors' pricing. So let's say my competitor is selling a back massager for $39.99 and my other competitor is selling it for $45.99 and I see somebody else selling it for $42.99. So I'm going to go based off that and I'm going to do the customer research and kind of look at the perceived value. And to be honest, we always want to try and make a better offer than our competitors because that's another competitive advantage that will get us more sales than them. But to be honest with you, I'll try to fit in the range probably of 42 to 49 if I saw my competitors selling at that price. And realistically, it comes with experience. You'll learn how to eventually start pricing and make better offers and kind of be able to pair it with better products so you can get the most amount of money for your buck. And like I said, all this comes with experience. The more you get into dropshipping, you'll be able to make better offers, better pricing, and kind of learn how to analyze and look at the perceived value of products and your customer avatar better. Phase 4, testing and media buying. Now, as you can see in my example, the hardest part is getting started, but the number one step we want to do is get a Facebook Ads Manager. Facebook's barrier to entry is very, very hard when it comes to beginners because sometimes they'll ban accounts and they won't ever let you make an ad account. So the way to get around this is that you're going to buy an ad account. I actually have somebody that sells ad accounts in my free community. They're very, very cheap. You can get them for like 50 to 90 bucks. They're very, very cheap. Usually they're sold for like 200 to 500 range. But like I said, I got a plug for y'all. So let's just assume you already have your Facebook Ad Manager. I'm going to show you my exact testing strategy that I use on every single product. But before we get into it, I want to tell y'all are basically at the tail end of dropshipping. Now y'all know how to find winning products, make a winning store, make a winning offer, and now you're going to learn how to media buy and get creatives. I told you at the start, dropshipping is simple, just complex. Now to talk a little bit about the testing strategy I have, basically all I have is a CBO at a $100 budget, and then we have one ad set with around 5 to 10 creatives. So we're going to go over the creatives in a little bit, but I kind of want to break down why my testing strategy works and why it's so simple and it works. Now going into the testing strategy I mentioned earlier, as you can see in this example, I run a CBO at a $100 budget, one ad set, one creative, two creative, three creative, four creative, five creative, and usually sometimes maybe I'll do like 5 to 10. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to really be too super strict with that, but I like to keep it 5 to 10, no more than 10. The reason I do this testing strategy is because when I run a CBO, it's gonna take that $100 daily budget and it's gonna find the best creative out of all of these, and it's gonna pump straight to it. So this might be creative 2, creative 3, and realistically, maybe you'll find 2 winning creative, and you'll kind of just see which one is getting the most spin, and that's how you know which one is your winner. That's why I advise to test more creatives, because the more creative, the more chances you have of winning. We're gonna go a little bit about that when we get into the creative testing strategy and how we're actually gonna get our creatives. Yeah, this is basically my testing strategy. I run this for around 3 to 5 days. I have a whole video actually on this. I have a whole video on how to set this up. But yeah, this is basically my testing strategy. CBO, $100 budget, one ad set, 5 to 10 creatives. Very, very simple. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do an ABO. Literally just let Facebook do its job. Facebook has so much data that you literally don't need to mess with it at all. So when I'm running this, it's completely broad. I'm doing the top 5 countries, so that being United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. So I'm running all 5 of those, and sometimes I just do 4 excluding New Zealand. But to be honest with you, this is the number one strategy I've been doing, and it's always worked for me, and it's always going to show you results. So as you can see right here, we're going to scroll down, you can see the creative testing strategy. So usually we can rip one-on-one from Calidata. So if you go on Calidata and you find a product, basically if you scroll down, you'll get a whole bunch of videos that are literally selling for that product. So instead of us making our own creatives, if we can get it from TikTok Shop and transfer it over to Facebook, it would be like it would essentially be a new creative. So what we have to do to actually use that creative is that we have to remove any brand names, as you can see in this example right here, and we have to remove any mention of TikTok. We don't want TikTok to be mentioned at all. If we're on Facebook and they hear, oh, TikTok Shop, that's a very bad sign, and it's gonna throw off the customer a little bit. Now, if I have a TikTok comment, that's not as bad because people really don't know if they're watching Reels or they're watching TikTok sometimes. Sometimes they're just doom scrolling. That's where the term came from. But to be honest with you, all we're doing is basically taking out TikTok, brand name, and we're always going to fix incorrect offers and make them look organic. And what I mean by the last two is fixing incorrect offers. Let's say we're selling a product for $24.99 and TikTok Shop is usually very, very cheap because they're in-house US. Let's say they're sourcing it or they're selling it for $14 and they say, oh, get it $14 today only. That is very, very bad because when they go to our site, they're gonna hear $14 and they're gonna go to our site and then see 24. It's gonna throw them off. We always want to edit out the prices because that's a very, very essential part to the creative, and we want to make sure that our customer journey is as smooth as possible. So we're always going to remove brand names, remove any sound of TikTok, so any person saying, oh, I got this off TikTok, and we want to remove all offers unless you're doing the same offer, which is very, very unlikely because TikTok Shop sells very, very low because it's US shipment. Yeah, this is basically all we're doing, and then make them look organic. We're not doing too much. We're not adding text. We want to make it look like a simple review because that's all TikTok Shop creatives are, and we're kind of just doing that every single time. And this is how we're testing a product, and this is how we're going to be able to actually test a product without even having to make real creatives because we literally got it off TikTok Shop. If you're not getting this off TikTok Shop, you're getting it off actual regular TikTok. Sometimes I'll take like the top 3 to 5 viral videos. Let's say we found a product like the viral back massager, for example. I'll take probably 5 videos off of there, just organic TikTok, and I'd run it on ads, see how it does, and then we'd get into actually making ads. But for just testing and getting to that first 1K, 5K day, you really don't need to make any creatives. I'm literally just ripping one-on-one from Calidata. Well, not one-on-one, but you know what I mean, editing it up a little bit. So that being said, all we're doing is essentially having a $100 CBO, 1 ad set, and all the Calidata creatives, 5 to 10 creatives. We're putting that all under 1 ad set, completely broad, and we're literally gonna let Facebook cook for 3 to 5 days, and realistically you should spend around 300 or 500, and you should be able to see your metrics. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused when it comes to analyzing metrics, and how do I bump, when do I descale, and how do I overall know what my metrics mean. So I'm gonna break it down step by step on how to increase or decrease your budget depending on your metrics. So looking at this example right here, we need to ask ourselves 2 questions. What is our break-even ROAS and what is our break-even CPA? So let's say, for example, our break-even CPA is $20. Basically, all that means if our CPA goes higher than $20, we wouldn't be profitable, and anything lower is profitable. And then break-even is 20. So if it was at 20, if our CPA was at 20, basically we're getting the same money we put in. So what we would always want to do is make sure our CPA is lower than our break-even. So break-even is basically just you spend as much as you made. And basically, if our CPA is lower than 18 or lower, if ROAS is good too, we're going to double the daily budget. So what I mean when we say if ROAS is good too, like I said, going back to the original question, what is our break-even ROAS? The same thing when it goes to break-even CPA, break-even ROAS. ROAS is return on ad spend. So it's basically a number that's calculated if you want to figure out what your break-even ROAS is, but it's very, very easy to find out. So let's say, for example, our break-even ROAS is 1.2. All we're going to do is from day 1, we're going to let it run for 3 days. We just need to know those 2 questions. We always need to know what our break-even CPA is and what our break-even ROAS is. So we're going to let it run for 3 days. So like I said, off of day 1, we're going to let it run for 3 days. And assuming that our break-even ROAS is 1.2, we're going to bump anything over a 2 to 3 ROAS. So like I said, anything over a 2 to 3 ROAS, we're going to double the daily budget. So basically 100 plus 100 is 200. And we're going to let it run for another 3 days and see how it does. So analyzing the data, we're going to look at the ROAS again. Did the ROAS drop overall in the 3-day period is the number 1 question we need to ask ourselves. So all we're going to do is literally pick the date between when we bumped it and 3 days after, and we're going to ask ourselves, did the ROAS drop, yes or no? So if the ROAS did drop, we're going to bump it down to 100, and then we're going to let it run for another 3 days. And then we're going to see, is anything higher than a 2 to 3 ROAS? And then we're going to double it again, let it go. Let it run for 3 days. Did the ROAS drop over the 3-day period? And we're going to keep doing this. Realistically, you might have to do this once or twice, but usually you never have to. But you definitely do need a descale, because sometimes if you bump to 200 and it's not performing at the same level after 3 days, then it's a good sign that you should probably bump down and try to get more data on your pixel, which is basically the more you spend, the more Facebook knows who your ideal customer is. Your ROAS dropping is basically Facebook telling you it needs more data to figure out who your customer is so you can scale. So we're gonna ask ourselves again, once we bumped, we descaled, and now we're going back to bumping again. Did the ROAS drop over the 3-day period? If it didn't drop, we're gonna double the budget again and let it run for 3 days. And we're gonna keep literally doing this exact same process. It's so easy. We're gonna keep doubling the budget, because the thing is, we're gonna always make more money because we're going off of ROAS. We're always gonna go off of a KPI, which is a key performance indicator. So if our ROAS didn't drop over the 3-day period, that gives us the green light to always double our budget. And sometimes you don't have to double it. Let's say you're at like 500, maybe you can go to 600, but I usually always double it if it's over a 2 to 3 ROAS. Like I said, did the ROAS drop? If it's always staying at a 2 to 3, that literally means you're making 2 times, 3 times as much. And like I said, always pay attention to your break even. And the example of break even is 1.2. So anything lower than 1.2 would mean you're not making money. And you always have to take into account, when it comes to break even, your COGS, your ad spend, and everything else has to go into you actually spending on your business. So always be careful of that, because the number 1 thing you don't want to do is spend money when you don't know you're making money. You can never be blind, so you always want to rely on your metrics, because your metrics are your eyes and your ears and everything else, like literally, bro. So now that we went over testing, creatives, and how to scale, I kind of want to tell y'all a little bit how to actually manage this in your day-to-day life. Like I said before, I'm in high school, so managing this can be a little bit tedious, but every time I'm bumping budget or increasing budget, I'm always doing it at the end of the day. And what I mean by this is 11 p.m. p.m. to 12 a.m. is when you should really be increasing or decreasing. And really most of the time you're just letting it cook for 3 days and you're not really touching it at all. Like I said, we're literally letting Facebook do its job as the advertiser, and we're going to trust in our creatives and trust in our systems that is going to perform. And we're kind of just always going to use that 3-day window. And every time we're increasing or decreasing, we're always going to make sure we're doing it at the end of the day. Because if we do it midday, it's going to try to catch up to that spend. Let's say we double the budget at 200 at like 3 p.m. It's going to try and spend that whole 100 between 3 p.m. and 12 a.m. and that's not what you want. If you do it at the end of the day, it's not going to happen, and that's really the best possible way you can go over it. Phase 5, reinvesting versus profit taking. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is taking money out way too early. When they make profit, they always get that greedy mindset and they're like, oh, I have money now, I need to go spend it. I'm going to tell you right now, that is not what you want to do. When I made my first couple thousand, I was in the same position. I was like, oh my God, I got money now, I'm going to go spend it on clothes, da 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 da. But realistically, bro, it's all a waste, and I promise you, you're going to regret it. But at the end of the day, you need to learn from it, and I'm going to just show you my exact system on how I manage it. You have to ask yourself a couple questions to see what boat you fit in. Number 1, do you have more money than you made? Basically, all this means is if you made 15K profit on your first dropshipping store, do you have more than 15K in your bank account? Now, if you don't, I wouldn't advise you to actually take that and go spend it. I would advise you to actually go reinvest that into either another dropshipping store or the same dropshipping store until you are able to kind of start making consistent money, or at least a very, very big lump sum of money, until you can actually start spending it like crazy. Number 2, could you run ads consistently without working a job? Consistently doesn't mean on a weekly basis, it means on a monthly basis. Could you run ads for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month without actually working a job, without actually having to put time into a 9 to 5? If not, it's probably not the best idea to take your profit out and go spend it, because you'll probably just end up losing it and having to work that job again. Number 3, can you afford your living expenses / ads with your bank account right now? So with your current bank account, could you pay for your rent, light bill, water bill, whatever you have to deal with, / your ads, so meaning you actually running a product, you testing products, could you afford all of that with your current bank account? So we're going to zoom out real quick. We're going to see what boat you really tie into based on those 3 questions. Like I said, if you answered no to every single one of those questions, take all your money you make and put right back into dropshipping. I know it might be scary, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the best investment for you, because if you're able to make it the first time, I promise you, the second, third, fourth, and fifth is going to be way easier, or it might be harder, but it might be a bigger payout. So I always advise to be wise with your money and don't be reckless. Like I said, you can always lose it, and you can go back from square one any single day. Now, if you can answer yes to all 3 of these questions, you can literally take your profits at the end of you running a product or every couple of days. It's really up to you. Like I said, I would still advise you to be smart with your money. You really don't have that much weight on your shoulders, because you're able to afford everything, not only out of your bank account, but your profits as well. The final stage is all about persistence. Even if you made money or if you didn't make money, you need to keep pushing. If it was easy, everybody would be rich and everybody would be doing dropshipping right now. At the end of the day, like I said before, the top 1% have many, many successes and have many, many up and down. With that being said, everybody's journey is different, and my chains might be different from your chains. But at the end of the day, you know what's holding you back. You know what's stopping you from being the best possible person you can, and really the best possible businessman you can, and what's stopping you from actually making money with dropshipping. Even when I had products failed, even when I had to switch from organic to paid, even when I had to keep pushing, when I had ad account bans to card locks, from when I had to DoorDash to literally pay for my ads after school, I wasn't doing anything else but that. I kept going. And even when I was seeing people succeed, when I saw them making 6 figures, I still had that fire inside me that I was going to catch up to them and I was going to be better than them. And you have to have that mindset to truly want it in dropshipping, or you're going to fall below everybody else that wants it more. So look, bro, the information in this free course genuinely has the power to change life, and I hope you got a little bit of value about this, took your notes, and genuinely learned from this. At this point, you have 2 options. 1, trying to implement yourself, spending time and money trying to apply it to your own business and facing tiny problems that seem huge because you're doing it for the first time. Or you can learn from somebody that made 6 figures in less than a year while in high school and has gone through all the problems you'll inevitably face because you're a beginner. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when I was on the come up, I wish I had somebody exactly like me showing me step by step. And to be honest, bro, if you haven't made 10K already in dropshipping, you most likely need help. That's why I want you to click the first link in the description and book a one-on-one call with me right now. This is just if you want somebody to basically hold your hand through dropshipping and kind of show you step by step on how to actually do this. I'm going to take you from 0 to 10K with dropshipping in less than 6 months. No guru bullshit. I'm literally in high school, bro. I'm just trying to help you, and I'm trying to make sure that you can succeed. Even now, I still haven't had a student not get sales in their first store ever. So if you're interested, bro, click the first link in the description, book a call with me, we'll talk soon. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, and make sure to tune into my new vlog series of me building a brand from 0 to 1 million. I'll see y'all in the next video.